Welcome back to the Next Gen Prophets podcast. We're your spiritual parents,
Craig
and Colette Toach. And this time, guys, we are sitting in an Airbnb in Woodbridge, Virginia.
Yep.
It's about a 30-minute drive from DC, where we landed the day before yesterday. And we've had a fantastic time here with Apostle Jordan, Bryce Conway, and the Nova Hub, which stands for North Virginia. Oh my goodness, it was so good yesterday to be able to minister and celebrate in their house. This is our kind of people.
Oh, yes.
Okay, all you guys, you would have loved being there. If you're ever in the region and you're a Next Gen prophet, trust me when I say, when you walk into that place, you would have found so many of your own people. We've been really blessed, when God told us to come to the East Coast, because all of the Next Gen prophets were there. There's always that bit at the back of your mind thinking, did I really hear from the Lord? Am I just hearing from God what I want to hear? But no, as we're coming to the end of our East Coast tour, God has done exactly that. We've gone into stream after stream, and guess what? Every single one of you guys have been there to embrace us, to follow us, to join this tribe. We've had so many new tribe joining us along the journey. And I think our favorite part is looking across the crowd and seeing another Next Gen prophet there with a Next Gen t-shirt. You guys have come up, you've hugged us, you've loved us, you've celebrated with us, because God is accelerating this prophetic move. I love the maturity. Okay, I got to tell you, Craig, one of our tribe came to us yesterday and she said, I've got to tell you something. We met in Orlando, Florida a couple of weeks ago, and you gave me a little bit of counsel on how to work with my pastor. And the reason why I was so late for today's meeting is that my pastor called me in for a meeting to talk about his vision for the ministry and how he can grow the work. This particular prophet had been at loggerheads with her pastor because she had so much to contribute, but she didn't see it from the pastor's viewpoint. She was seeing it all prophet.
That's so good.
And so today we want to jump in on a vital theme, and that is why your pastor needs you to step up. We're going to give you 3 reasons why you need to step up if you have been positioned in a church under leadership, because your pastor needs you. But now how you express yourself as a prophet changes everything. So we're going to jump in and share some of that with you.
Amen. We love you. We're your mom and dad. We want to see you. We want to hug you. We want to say hello to you. So whenever we're in a meeting, never feel that you're imposing by just coming to say hello to us. That's just who we are. We're mom and dad. We love you and we want to get to know you, okay?
Oh my goodness, I love my husband's father's heart. You can see why he is the head of this ministry, because his heart and his compassion for every single one of you covers us so very well. Now, guys, there's 3 reasons your pastor needs you to step up. But I want to take you to the ministry of Nathan. Now, when we go to 2 Samuel 7, you're going to see that David got a revelation. He wanted to build the temple. And at first, he goes to Nathan and he says, hey, I have it on my heart to build this temple. And at first, Nathan's like, it's a great idea. But later on that night, God gets him.
Oh, yes.
And God gives Nathan a word. And he says, now therefore, thus shall you say to my servant David, thus says the Lord of hosts, I took you from the sheepfold, from following the sheep, to be ruler over my people, over Israel. And then God further instructs Nathan to tell David that he will not be the one to build the temple, but that he will indeed continue an inheritance to the next generation through Solomon. And I looked at the power of the right word in season.
Yes.
Prophet, this is point number 1. One of the reasons why your pastor desperately needs you to step up. And that's, you have the missing piece.
That's right.
You have that one missing piece for his pattern. You see, David was king. David had the revelation. He knew he had to build the temple. But what he didn't get is that he was meant to create the pattern and he was meant to collect the resources. But it actually wasn't for him to build it. That was the piece that he was missing. And it took Nathan to bring him that piece. And when we were talking about this point, Craig, we shared a frustration that we have as apostles. Okay, so we go out with the whole team. I mean, we always travel in packs. We've got a troop of prophets with us
That's right.
all the time. And you get to that part of the meeting when you know God's got a word, or you're in a ministry time and you know God's got a word, then you feel like, okay, well, nobody else seems to have it. Let me step in there and bring that word. And then, no, this is what gets me every single time. We're busy talking after the meeting, or we're on the way back to our hotel, and one of our prophets, Dalton, or one of our prophets, Michael, or one of our prophets, Nathan, or Deborah. Let's call them all out. One of them will say, I got this word while you were ministering, Apostle. I saw this vision, and it's like,
the temperature in the car goes up a little. Like you can just sense it in the room, I'm
like, seriously though, guys, you left me hanging. I was waiting for that word, and they were like, well, I didn't want to impose. I wasn't sure if then was the right time. I'm like, listen, I would rather you have made a mistake and got my back than left me hanging like that.
In this story, what I love about this is Nathan was already positioned. He was the prophet. David knew that he was a prophet, and he relied on Nathan to hear the voice of the Lord. But what I love is the maturity right here in this piece, where Nathan right off the bat doesn't go to the Lord, but he hears what David wants to do, and he's like, yeah, that sounds great. But that was his fleshly man speaking.
Come on.
He didn't go to the Lord and get a revelation, but then in the night, God rebukes and says, hey, listen, dude, you didn't listen to me. You didn't go. You're supposed to be the prophet, giving the king the missing piece, but guess what? I don't want that. Yes. There's a piece missing that David doesn't know about, so you better go back and you better go speak to the king. Now, for me, the maturity in this is so powerful because, I've done this where you agree to something and then God goes and tells you, no, that's not what I want. Are you mature enough to go back and say, listen, I was caught up in the moment and I said something, but actually God has come and he's told me something different. Are you mature enough? Because, guys, in that moment, when you are putting yourself in that place, you actually solidify yourself in that position.
That is so, so good. Don't get so caught up in the moment that you forget who you are, prophet. Don't be so caught up in the moment that you don't say anything. Don't be so caught up in the moment that you say the first thing that comes to your head. I love the balance of that. Listen, you have the missing piece, but there's another reason why your pastor needs you to step up. Now, before I give the next 2 points, I also want to make a point that this is for prophets who are positioned. In other words, if you haven't been given the authority to speak into the life of your pastor or have not been given the authority in the team to speak into the ministry or your apostle, then there's a couple of other podcasts you got to listen to.
Go back.
This is specifically for those prophets where the pastor has given them a place to either on the intercessory team or on the prophetic team or on his fivefold ministry team, whichever it is. If you have been given a place, it's time for you to step up. And number one, you have the missing piece. Number two, you are a sniper. You have the detail orientation. Now, I want you to, again, look at this example of David and Nathan. David saw the whole picture.
That's right.
He saw the kingdom. He saw the temple. He saw the people. But what he didn't see was the timing.
Yes.
He didn't see the timing. As a prophet, you are so detail oriented and it's frustrating for you. And it's a blessing all at the same time, because I recognize that prophets sometimes get a little frustrated that they don't see the full picture.
Yes.
But today I want you to celebrate that part of your DNA, because the detail you do see is so clear and so specific that you shouldn't be afraid to jump in and share it. You have the missing piece. In fact, your one revelation is a key that unlocks the door.
That's good.
You see, the apostle gets brought before the door. The apostle even knows what's beyond the door. The pastor knows that the people have got to go through the door. Right. But the prophet has the one small key that will unlock the door. The reasons why you need to step up, share your revelation, share what God gives you, is because you have that one key that pushes over the first domino for the rest to come tumbling
That's
down.
So good. That's so good.
Now, the third reason why your pastor really needs you to step up is a little bit of a change of subject here. You validate his authority. I don't think you guys realize just how much what you say and what you do in service or in the ministry is a reflection on your pastor's leadership, authority, and church. You see, because you are so focused, because you are so detail-oriented, you only see the one aspect that God's showing you, but you don't realize it. When you fail or when you succeed, that success is a direct validation to his position as a pastor, or if you're working with an apostle. In other words, if I can just say it straight, when my prophets do good, I look good.
Yes.
The reason why we look so good, Craig, when we go out there is because of our prophets. It's not just because of us. Listen, when Dalton steps up and he ministers in authority and he is under our covering, then guess what? He makes us look good. Now, that might sound like a very fleshly thing, and I don't want you guys to misunderstand what I'm saying here. I'm not talking about hierarchy. I'm saying that I represent my team, and my team represents me. And when they stand up and they speak with grace, when they speak with honor, when they speak with authority, people look at us as a whole and recognize, this is a ministry we can trust. So if my prophets sit down and they never say anything, they don't prophesy, they don't minister, they don't love, and when they do open my mouth, all they have to say is something negative, they're going to look at our ministry and say, what kind of spiritual parents are these?
Yes, and I mean, even for one that we've had to pull up a few times is they think because they're not the apostle, they whisper and they come in all timid. Now, when I see that in another prophet, in another team, I look and I think, why is this prophet lacking in authority?
Come on.
You know what I mean? I'm not talking about a pride issue. I'm not talking about anything. But when you know who you are and you are secure in who you are as a prophet and you're secure in your position in the team and you should have worked out your finer details behind the scenes, when you step out there is not the time to try and figure yourself out. You should go in boldness because you are there to represent the Lord and represent the house that you are under. And when you do that, the banner that is over you and the banner of the Lord should be risen higher. And that's what it's about. It's not about you trying to be all timid and showing respect to your leader. No, you need to stand as one that is solid and authority. I want to see authority in my team. I don't want to see a wishy-washy little person. If someone like that tries to step into my team, I'm telling them to sit down and to grow up. Because now's not the time to do that. When you are at home and we are behind the scenes and you're trying to learn, by all means, I will give you all the time to grow. I will even give you pointers to rise you up. But when I step out there and we're doing the job, I want 18 players. I want the elite players on my team so that we can go and do the work of the Lord. Now, come on, step up. Step up. Your pastor needs that prophet.
Oh my goodness, that was so good. I was just sitting here cheering, I know that this microphone always picks up all my comments, so I try and physically move myself away from the mic every time Craig steps up because I'm like, come on now. And I'm clapping and I'm standing up. I'm like, all right, I'm not in church. I'm doing a podcast, but come on, prophet, stand up. Listen, how cool is it when one of my team stands up in power, anointed, confident. I mean, he could own that meeting. Yes. I sit back there and I'm like, wow, I am blessed. You know why? Because as much as he can own that meeting, he still brings that authority that he carries and puts his sword at my feet. Amen. And together we go into battle. Champions. Oh, champions right there. Guys, we've got to get rid of our pride issues. We've got to recognize that we represent one another. Now, you'll notice that we're bringing on some more of the tribe and more of the team onto this podcast because I want you guys to recognize that you're part of something bigger, so much bigger than yourself, than your church, than your community. There is a global movement, a global prophetic move at play. And if you want to be part of this tribe, you come and sign up at myprophetictribe.com. We're launching our new prophetic school curriculum, which is completely free for tribe, beginning in January. We have mentorship meetups. Craig and I just had a meeting with all our tribe last week that was phenomenal. Awesome. And so even when we're traveling, to be able to connect one-on-one with our tribe, to impart, to give counsel, this is what we do. We're there to accelerate you. wherever God has positioned you. If you want to be a next gen prophet, sign up to myprophetictribe.com. Now you'll notice tomorrow you're going to have your big brother and sister, Deborah Ann and Michael Feldhazen. They're stepping up to the mic again to mentor you because you know those prophets that I said stand up in authority, in boldness, fire and power that make us look good. Yeah, that's Deb and Mike. That's Deb and Mike. They stand up. They lead the charge for the next gen prophets, and I'm so proud of them. I'm proud to not just cover them.
No, I'm proud of them.
I'm prouder of them. Now, anyway, I've got the mic now, so I get to say. No, seriously, guys, we do this as a tribe and team. And then I realize how desperately you guys need a pastor to the prophets. I know you serve your own pastors, but this is a pastor that we brought on board to serve you.
Amen.
My daughter, Jessica Toach, will take to this podcast mic again on Thursday. She is a pastor to the prophets. God raised her up as a pastor and a teacher amongst all us crazy prophets. It took her a while to figure out her identity and even to come to terms with it. But at the end of the day, she has a love and grace for the prophets to counsel, to heal, to nurture. Please come and give her some honor on Thursday as she heals the wounds like only a pastor can. She's got an oil that will pour over your head and enable you to serve your leaders in how we taught you today.
Amen.
You have the missing piece. Bring your focused sniper view and bring that validation that you have that only you can give, prophet, to your pastor, to your apostle. We love you guys. We will be probably podcasting one more podcast here in Virginia. And then we're back home in Mexico for our retreat for our tribe. If you're part of our tribe, I do believe the dates have closed for you to be able to sign up for our retreat. But for those of you coming, we look forward to seeing you, spending time with you, going to the beach with you, bringing the fire with you.
Eating tacos
with you. We'll see you guys again tomorrow with Deb and Mike.
Yes, see you guys. Bye.